Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here this evening. We are getting set in just about an hour's time for the Seattle Kraken, the Edmonton Oilers. But today, a big piece of news that had to wait until after dinner, mind you, but it's still a huge part of today's happenings across the NHL, specifically here in Edmonton, as the Edmonton Oilers get a big time positive update on Evander Kane, as of course today he was on the ice for the first time in a long while, and it was good to see. So we'll discuss that more in a moment, but if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard for more Oilers coverage tonight. We'll stay up, get the post game done for you. And look at me learning to pause and sneeze off mic. Look at that. We're learning things here in 2025. Okay, so you've come for the news. Let's get to it. Evander Kane, Frank Saravalli taking the Instagram post from Evander Kane and letting the masses know that, of course, Evander Kane is back on the ice skating for the first time since all the surgery work has been done. Evander Kane obviously back, ready to rock and roll here sometime between mid-March and mid-April. I think for most of us, hoping for the most load up possible during the trade deadline, are saying mid-April. The other folks that want to see Evander Kane in their crashing bodies getting playoff ready would say, let's get him going for mid-March. So lots to be decided yet, but of course this is now a few weeks removed from Evander Kane's last surgery there, where he got some work done and just kind of continues to heal up little by little on the ice for the first time. He said he was feeling great, and that's a good sign for us Edmonton Oilers fans as well. Good day of work today. First skate in a long time. Feeling better every day was the update from Evander Kane over on Instagram today. So that's huge, right? I think, as we know as Oilers fans, getting a guy like him every single trade deadline, it feels like, over the past several years, back into the lineup is a massive addition for a team that lacks all of the things that Evander Kane seems to bring to the game. I know that Corey Perry kind of brings the antagonism to the game a little bit for the Oilers, but again, Evander Kane's got that thundering hit to him as well that he can deliver that really just can, sometimes put the opponent down on the ground and leave him there for a little while. So there's a lot that Evander Kane adds above and beyond what Corey Perry does, and that's not to badmouth Corey Perry. He's been fantastic this year, but you got to remind yourself as well, Kane, when fully healthy, has a good set of skates on him. Kane, when fully healthy, has touch around the net. Kane, when fully healthy, can be a second number one power play unit addition to kind of offset maybe Zach Hyman if he's gone a little bit cold, can be a little bit of a force out there. And as well, you can just, solidify your lines a little bit more. We see what's going on with Jeff Skinner, and I'll add Matthias Janmark to that pile as well. Matthias Janmark, I think I read something today, courtesy, I believe it was, of Oilers Nation or something. He's gone since December 22nd without a point. And really, what's he done? Just penalty killed. Not necessarily the worst thing. The Oilers penalty kill has gotten better, but still, you need guys that are going to be inside your top 9 on a regular basis, getting you points. And Matthias Janmark's kind of that tweener between the third and the fourth line, but still, you need him to get going here. And obviously, if not, he becomes a casualty of Evander Kane coming into the lineup. Not that Kane will go out there and penalty kill for you, but the Oilers can definitely figure things out without Matthias Janmark if that ends up being the case, and then you have a playoff ace up your sleeve, not named Evander Kane, named Matthias Janmark. So lots of moving pieces, but you also got to remind yourself Jeff Skinner has once again, despite scoring a goal, played himself out of the lineup this evening against the Seattle Kraken. So the competition on the left wing is really tight, and it's only going to get tighter now that we start seeing, like today, if you missed this right off the hop and you were not fully paying attention, that's fine. Evander Kane has returned to the ice today, and that means the timeline, whether it takes to April or whether it takes to mid-March, is now officially underway, right? Yeah, he can do all the pool stuff he wants. He can do all the bike work, all the running, all everything. But until he gets on the ice and starts feeling how he feels, nothing's going to start happening. And well, today it started happening. So we'll ultimately see what this means for the Oilers moving forward throughout the deadline and throughout the next few months, right? We still got a full month of February. I know January is already almost over, and we got a full pretty much month of March before we fully see Evander Kane back in the Oilers lineup at the earliest. But there is tons to like about seeing Kane there. Like I said, if you're a chaos agent and you want to see the Oilers go out there, Vegas, Tampa Bay, win a cup because of the LTIR, fair on you, and that's all good. And I'm hoping for that too. But maybe that might not be the case here with Evander Kane getting back on the ice today. And, well, that also kind of impacts what else the Oilers can do at the deadline if he doesn't get, or he does get back to the lineup, rather, in time for the regular season. Because even if you use the LTIR, use overage to acquire a player, now you got to cut some fat from the roster per se. You're either waiving somebody on the blue line, you're waiving somebody up front just to make that salary cap fit below the NHL cap limit when it comes to, obviously, post-trade deadline day. So whatever happens here for Evander Kane and the Edmonton Oilers, it is now moving finally at last. That is what feels so good about this. I don't care, right, wrong, or otherwise. It feels good to see Evander Kane back on the ice and finally starting to progress to something where we can now, if the reporters are in the building a little early, start tracking kind of the progress day by day by day by day for Evander Kane and how this all unfolds, leading into ultimately number one check stop will be the trade deadline, but then the number two check stop will be his return date, whether that is, mid-March or mid-April. And I'm just, sorry, I want to keep going here because this is just so exciting and there's so many variables that so many things hinge on here. We were just talking about it yesterday, right? Is, what, some of the other players on the roster may be a little bit of a concern as well, but Evander Kane is your biggest question mark at this point of the year, and his return date is your second biggest question mark. Question mark number one, Evander Kane himself, what's he going to be when he returns? But number two is, when will he return and how will that impact your plans? And now we are starting to get closer and closer to that, and that feels really dang good. I don't know what else to tell you on that front. So what I'll leave you with is a little bit of exactly what I told you this morning, is I expect the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid specifically, to come out and absolutely dummy himself a hockey game this evening. I think it'll be unlike anything you've seen from Connor, at least this season. I know we've seen some supernova Connor at times, but this seems like a game 0 to 60 that he goes out there and puts his stamp on every single shift against the Seattle Kraken, who once again aren't necessarily having the greatest season or start to the franchise that maybe Vegas did. So we'll see what's happening here for Seattle. We'll see what's happening here for the Oilers. Either which way, it's going to be a fun game to watch this evening, and I can't wait to run it all down with you. Sorry, Patrick. That I knew where I was going. I thought of it, and then I thought not to do it, and then I still did it. But we'll get it all done with you later on tonight. Thanks for being aboard here, friends. Really appreciate you hanging out. Like I said off the top, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And I bid you a good Oilers game. Let's go Oilers. Let's hopefully play that big old song we love to play on the home ice speakers following you know what. And with that, I am up on out of here.